Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date, 4th 2 weeks. The course fee for the 2-week course is 150,000 naira only. Accommodation includes. For more enquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be. A new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively with Professor Umar Garba Dambata, Executive Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC.
We have unveiled the 622 as a toll-free line through which consumers can be able to lodge their complaints. And we have introduced the 112 as a national emergency number.
This edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from technology, entertainment, economy, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up your copy and get abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Welcome back. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the coming on stream of the Dangote fertilizer plant and the petrochemical refinery plant will boost energy and food sufficiency in the country. The minister stated this when he took a tour of the fertilizer plant and the ongoing building of the refinery in Lagos State. Anthony Forson will tell us more about it.
The minister was received on arrival by the Group Executive Director Dangote Industries Limited, Devakumar Edwin. First port of call is the Dangote Jetty, a port and a constructed roll-in and roll-out quay. At the loading point, the minister experienced firsthand how vessels are loaded, as is the case here, where fertilizer is being loaded into this vessel. But with the capacity of this ship, where is the fertilizer coming from? Save your breath. It is from Dangote Fertilizer Plant, Africa's largest granulated urea fertilizer plant, which was commissioned recently by President Muhammadu Buhari with a vision to make Nigeria self-reliant in food production through improved crop productivity for farmers as well as for export. It has the capacity to produce 3 million tons of urea per annum. The minister was then taken to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day. Standing at about 75% completed, it will produce one of the best gasoline and diesel as well as jet A fuel and polypropylene. With world-class technology, it will meet the fuel requirements of Nigeria. At the end of the tour, Lai Mohammed bared his mind.
With the coming on stream of the Dangote fertilizer plant, Nigeria is now self-sufficient in the production of urea. In fact, Nigeria is now the leading producer of urea in Africa. The Dangote fertilizer plant is already exporting to the US, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Argentina. We were all fortunate today to witness a ship being loaded with urea for export to Argentina.
Stressing the point that the federal government's ability to create the enabling environment for investment and business to thrive, he called on wealthy Nigerians to invest in Nigeria like Dangote.
To be the underpinning philosophy, what I've seen here today. And I say it will take a few years for people to appreciate what people like Dangote is and has been to their country. And also, I'm sure posterity will be very kind to Muhammadu Buhari, because in 2-3 years' time, we'll have food security, we'll have energy security.
The executive director said the enabling environment for doing business under the present administration is responsible for the feat achieved so far.
As the Honorable Minister mentioned, he talked about the enabling environment for business. If that is not there, businesses cannot develop. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
75% of the products from this refinery will be ferried by sea. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Guests on NT's Good Morning Nigeria say Nigerians have no business going through untold hardship over the scarcity and high cost of diesel when artisanal refineries have capacity to make the product available at far less cost than what the nation spends on importation. As a way forward, they urge the federal government to immediately initiate an intersection of the conventional, artisanal and modular refineries in the country with proper regulatory framework. Lydia Sampson reports.
From 288 naira per litre in January 2022 to more than 700 naira per litre in April. That is the story of the hike in the price of diesel, which powers the nation's industries.
We are one of the people that are more affected because we cannot do our business without trucking, and trucking cannot go without diesel. Moreover, if you come to see that, to realize we have a problem of this diesel problem ever since, simply because we have an increment of diesel with over 1,000%.
The girls are emphatic that while the nation spends so much importing petroleum products, operators of artisanal refineries in Nigeria are making diesel available to neighboring countries at far less cost.
Now, what is the cost of diesel now? The presentation there showed that the cost of diesel when they produce, he said that diesel, when they produce at that level and give, that it is 29 naira per litre. And the actual, the practitioners who were there said, look, it is not 29 naira, that it is 18 to 19 naira per litre. What we are paying 700 naira here.
Formalizing the informal petroleum sector, it canvas has the way to go.
We have these solutions sitting at home in front of us, and we're not able to add it to the mix in a way that's legitimate. It's slightly problematic, and so those are the areas that I think the industry needs to look at, particularly the regulators, to see how we can fold in some of these additional demands.
The government can avoid the question of crude theft, and if you allow them have this access, you will get the money paid to you. And so we will not be losing revenue. You will not be losing crude.
The guests agree that the petrochemical solutions being sought abroad are right here in the country, and that the burden of high cost of diesel being inflicted on Nigerians is unwarranted. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
In the development of innovations, as well as harnessing these developments in science and technology, For national development, many of the social, economic and environmental challenges in the nation have to be put into consideration as the application of these new technologies becomes very important. This played out at this year's Science and Technology Expo recently held in Abuja. Justin Bemunyi reports.
Igbilosa Egosa, a PhD student of the Department of Production Engineering, University of Benin, who is head of the team that developed this vehicle, a utility truck, is optimistic that commercialization of his innovation will reshape the transport and agriculture sectors, translating to economic growth and prosperity for the country. Out of over 80% of locally sourced materials, this indigenous innovator fabricated this machine to meet the transport needs of basically farmers, as it puts into consideration durability, affordability, and ease of maintenance. The one-ton truck, as he calls it, had gone through a series of rigorous engineering and construction steps to finally win an award at the 2022 Technology and Innovation Expo as a need-driven innovation.
Actually, it's locally manufactured. All the parts, 80% of it are made here and in the workshop. And it can travel at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour, powered by 8.5 kilowatt engine, IC engine.
This is just one out of many need-oriented research findings at the Expo. Our attention was also drawn to another problem-solving technology that was researched into by the Shedder Science and Technology Complex, SHESCO. The Research Institute brought in a machine called an archer desanding machine, a machine that removes sand from archer grains.
We know that archer is one grain or seed that people are very much interested because those who are suffering from diabetics and that kind of a thing, they enjoy it, and it doesn't increase their sugar level. So they go for it. But many people run away from it because of the sand. And we've now found a method of removing the sand.
It's not just about fabricating or innovating, or you understand? The whole idea is to make it a household affair nationwide. And that will be the next step, actually.
Already, discussions are underway on the technology to be commercialized. As the Institute says, they are ready to transfer the technology to investors for commercialization for the benefit of Nigerians. Justin Bemunyi, NT News.
The federal government has directed all telecommunication companies to bar all outgoing calls for telephone lines that have not complied with the NIN-SIM linkage policy from the 4th of April 2022. In a statement signed by Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, Director of Public Affairs, NCC, and Kayode Adegoke, Head Corporate Communications, NIMSI, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, commended Nigerians and legal residents for their support during the exercise to link the national identification number to the subscriber identification model, noting that over 125 million SIMs have had their names submitted for immediate linkage, verification and authentication, and the National Identity Management Commission has issued over 78 million unique names till date. Meanwhile, subscribers of barred lines are advised to link their SIMs to their NINs before the telcos can lift the restrictions on their lines, as enrollment for NIN is a continuous exercise and NIN is a precondition for service in telcos, banks, Nigerian Immigration Service, and for the several other government services. It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari gave the directive for the implementation and commencement of the exercise in December 2020 as part of the administration's security and social policy. The deadlines for the NIN-SIM linkage has been extended on multiple occasions to allow Nigerians freely comply with the policy. 70% of the Nigerian working population who are in the informal sector, experts say, have no plans to cushion the effects old age comes with without planning. The Conference of Civil Society of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Nigerian Pension Commission, has taken up the sensitization of Nigerians on the benefits of contributing for old age. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports.
Old age is usually a time of reaping from one's bountiful harvest, but could be devastating when appropriate measures like savings are not there, making such people a burden to children and some uncaring relatives. The Conference of Civil Society of Nigeria is worried that over 70% of Nigerian working population in the informal sector may become victim if appropriate measures are not taken to get them enrolled into micro pension plan.
The pension scheme has to do with the well-being and welfare of upward of 68% of the population sector of the country who constitute the informal sector and the civil society. Therefore, if you make provision that secures their old age life and provide them a retirement earning, a retirement income, you would have catered for their well-being and welfare, and that will have very positive impact on national security.
When you are old, you are an artisan or you are a motorcyclist. When you are old and you cannot ride your cycle again, or when you are old and you cannot trade again, you have something to fall back to. And that's why the provision of 40 and 60% has been made. You have 40%, which is the contingent portion, which you can access after 3 months of your contribution. And you have 60% that is kept for you for retirement.
The micro pension plan is mainly designed for the informal sector because we want to see how they can cultivate a culture of savings. We want to see how they will have independence, secure autonomy when they are old.
Mrs. Omowume Obefemi from PENCOM office hinted that unlike the stories of complexities of the PENCOM out there, the PENCOM is flexible to the extent of making available 40% of enrollees' funds for withdrawal before retirement age. Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
As the mood of the nation gradually wears that of politics, women participation is key, and this can be achieved through serious sensitization programs and leadership trainings. To this end, the JAW Women Connect is carrying out leadership skills program in Abuja. Mie Ogidi reports.
A meeting of women, inputs from men as well. It is the desire for the women folk to occupy leadership positions, but getting there, some essential skills needed, and that informs this gathering.
In any area of life where they find themselves as leaders, they will be able to put those skills that they have acquired today, being together, doing things together, and supporting one another is very important in order for us to forge ahead.
It is an annual gathering of the JAW Women Connect in Abuja. Informed opinions x-raying the imperatives needed for women to form a common front in the areas of politics and other aspects of life.
The whole idea of oneness is at the very root of our existence as human beings and lies at the very foundation of human society.
We must all pull in the same direction in order to arrive at the destination. Even if one person is not pulling, is not rowing in the right direction, what happens to the boat? It will either sink or it will capsize.
Now they are informed. Their contributions expected in the areas of sensitization and gunning for elective offices in 2023 general elections. Mie Ogide, NT News.
All right, sports update is next.
Nigeria Correctional Service are the champions of the football event of the One Service, One Medal Games holding in Abuja. The correctional players in yellow and green striped shirts beat Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps 1-0 in the finals to emerge winner of the football category.
And we have always been going to the finals, but this time around, God deemed it fit to reward us, reward the hard work of our management and the technical crew for us to attend this height.
The fifth edition, which is looking to end in the next few hours, has been keenly contested for by the paramilitary organizations in Nigeria. In the meantime, Arsenal will be looking to reclaim fourth place in the Premier League when they take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Tottenham have overtaken the Gunners on goal difference, but Mikel Arteta's team have 2 games in hand. But Crystal Palace are unbeaten in their last 6 games. And finally, to volleyball. Organizers of the ongoing Volleyball Super Cup competition holding in Lagos say they are satisfied with the level of play displayed so far by teams competing in the tournament. They stated this at the opening matches where Kada Kings defeated Kwara United 3-0 in the male category as Chief of Army Staff Spikers beat Kwara United female 3-1.
And I know that as we go on, the standard will continue to improve. So if we can have this level of standard at the beginning, then it invariably means then that we are on to very tough competition.
Kano Pillars and Kwara United March Day 2 is ongoing. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
We're done. Thank you for your company, but we urge you not to relent in the fight against rape and rapists. Have a good evening. I'm Ruth Aguilera.